How do? It's me, Ted. How you doing? All right? I forgot you can't reply, can you? Just leave a comment if you're all right and that. But if you're not, I don't really want to know about any of your problems and that, you know what I mean? But welcome to the TED HANKY podcast, TED Talks. It's only the #1 podcast on Teesside. And if you don't believe me, you can ask our mum, because she doesn't tell no lies. No flies on her. So... thanks for tuning in, thanks for sharing, usual shit. Sponsored by the Warehouse Kitchen and Bar on Preston Farm Industrial Estate. Yes, get yourself down there for a parmo. Who am I joined in the studio with? As always, it's Psycho Killer, Mala.
No, all right, everyone, just listen, right? Teesside, we are proud, but be clever. Don't reply to Ted if you're not all right, because it takes a week to get this thing out, doesn't it, Ted?
It does, yeah.
So, like, if you say, shit, my house is burning down, can you help? It's probably going to have burned down by the time he gets it.
Yeah, I won't be happy, I'll be honest. But if there is, like, a very hot mum and she's hanging out the window going, help me, and, like, there's a fire, and then I've got to come round in my fireman's outfit and I've got to climb up this tree and then rescue her and then take her down the tree and then fucking rattle a dead hard over it. I will do that to be a hero.
Ted, she will be out if there's a fucking fire, mate, to be fair, wouldn't she?
I know, yeah. To be honest, if she is very badly burned and still alive, I won't.
Oh, mate, you know, have you ever seen, like, where Darth Vader in the Star Wars movie where he's laying on, like, that lava, right? And he's like, I've got no legs, Obi-Wan, you dickhead. You've just cut me legs off. And he's like, nah, that serves you right for being a wrong'un, right? But that one that looks there, I'm thinking, do you know what I mean? If I was to pick her up, I was to tidy her up, feed her up a bit, you know what I mean? Bring her into the room. In 5 or 6 years, she could be looking mint.
You'd have to put a lot of soda cream on her.
I've got a lot of soda cream.
Anyway, welcome to the show. And before we move on to the little jingle bit that's in between the chapters, I want to show you a new T-shirt.
Well, that is minted.
As you can see there, it is the Thornaby Scuttlers Brandon, which is the local dogging society I am a member of there, where we are #1 dogging society of Teesside, helping Teessiders come together. And you can see there, that's me in my little underpants with my knackers hanging out, and there's a couple of lasses, and one's holding a dildo, the other's holding a vibrator. We're going to get a bit, things get a bit sexy, you know what I mean? Well, you can buy these on tedhankyt-shirts.com.
Oh, you did that magic thing again, didn't you? Well, I class that. Are you Teddy? You sure that's not our Alex? Looks a bit like him, doesn't it?
It could be, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, enjoy the show. Right, Mala. Today's show, I've been looking forward to this one for ages, right? The topic of today's TED Talk show is it's only fucking wrestling.
Get in, Ted.
Oh.
Mud wrestling. Do you know, like when loads of birds get in and start
Not
clarting
mud
each other
wrestling,
up?
Mala.
I've been watching
Proper,
that all
like,
week.
fellas in trunks and that, the one... that
Oh, do you mean the one that my dad likes?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah. If you're watching this, Mr. Mala, we know you like men in trunks. We do. So, Mala, you're a big wrestling fan, aren't you? Not a lot of people at home know, but Mala, he invented the four-man.
Yeah,
he needed it to finger Broadback.
I didn't. I injured my hand in an excursion to Budapest one year, and then I got on the plane on the way home, and it swelled up 3 times the size. And like the flight attendant, instead of helping me, just started laughing, didn't it, Ted? Yeah. Wangers.
His hand was massive.
It was massive.
It was huge.
I was nearly doing a wrestling move there as well when I broke it.
I know.
Class.
I know. So, Mala, tell us about your journey through wrestling.
Well, yeah, right. As you know, people think it's for dogs, but obviously not. Because look at me, I'm class, and I love it, me. Right, when we were kids, didn't we love it?
Oh, proper.
Class.
But you were like, you were into all that sort of like the shit English wrestling, weren't you?
World of Sport. Well, I thought it was class.
Yeah. You were like we'd all like turn up in like our Macho Man Randy Savage outfits, and you'll be dressed as Big Daddy.
I've lost a lot of weight, Ted, but basically.
Yeah. Isn't he called something like Susan or Tracy or something?
Shirley Crabtree.
Shirley. I thought it was Susan Crabtree, but no, she used to bring the Ave onto old Mum.
Yeah, and I think Crabtree was a nickname, to be honest.
Yeah, she had a crab ladder that went all the way up round the nipples.
Disgusting.
Yeah, Big Daddy then. You Big Daddy fan?
He was, when we were kids, Ted, as you know, some of my family, they come from Blackpool, don't they?
Yeah.
So I'm only half Teesside, which I'm a little bit ashamed about, to be honest, but I keep it on the down low, so don't think anything bad of me. But we used to go to Blackpool, like in the 80s and end of the 70s and the 80s and up to the 90s, practically every couple of weeks, really. And we always used to go and watch the wrestling, and it was class.
Yeah.
You had Big Daddy, right? Right, used to be in the Coldstream Guards as well, Ted, did you know?
Did he?
He did indeed, yeah.
I hope he didn't have to ride any horses.
No, they're the lads that are too lazy to ride horses, so just stand there with a big bearskin.
Right, okay.
But there was him, there was a class lad called Giant Haystack.
Giant Haystack, big fat sweaty bastard.
There was a little cheating Irish lad called Mick McManus, do you remember him?
Oh, hello, I'm Mick McManus.
I don't think he's but yeah.
I'm allowed to do that?
Pretty much, yeah, he was class. There was like a dead skinny William Regal, who I put my body type on for the rest of my life. It was class.
Didn't the British Bulldog start off as Big Daddy's little Nancy child thing?
He used to be called Young David. That was his name.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
He was.
Oh, Young David. And he's like, doubt it, I want to be called Davy Boy Smith, which sounds even...
It sounds great, doesn't it?
I sat on Big Daddy's knee at Blackpool one time.
Yeah, that wasn't Big Daddy Ted, but yeah, I know him. No,
that was Big Beverly.
Yeah. We were in Funny Girls at the time, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was him,
boy.
and there was like some other class lads, like Kendo Nagasaki, who was a white lad, right, but he played an Asian lad. I don't know how we got away with that.
Isn't he in our snooker team down the club?
Well, of course.
Oh, that's just Endo. Didn't know you. I thought, yeah, Nagasaki.
And there was also like Rollerball Rocco, who was absolutely solid, and he was class. He had like a little moustache and stuff.
I've never heard of Rollerball Rocco.
Yeah, mint man, he was class. Yeah, boys and girls, right? Put in your Google machines, Rollerball Rocco, and get ready for some absolutely class but crap wrestling at the same time. He was mint. Absolutely mint.
Was Rowdy Roddy Piper in that one?
No, he wasn't.
Good. Let's move on to my wrestling era, where I had all of the little wrestling figures. I had Macho Man, I had Hulk Hogan, I had
Jake the Snake Roberts.
You did. I had Jimmy the Superfly Snooker.
You did.
I had them all. Nasty Boys, Legion of Doom.
You had the two fat lads.
Earthquake and Typhoon. It was originally known as Tugboat, the natural disasters, and we used to call a girl that, didn't we? Because she was a big lass, and she'd always tug it off.
You used to call it Tugboat. That's that was the noise she made over the wreck.
Yeah, the Rockers.
They were class. But they were a rip-off of the Rock and Roll Express, them.
Do you think I could grow my hair like Marty Jannetty's? Like the really long, like wavy sort of rock mullet?
That's a proper mullet. Could they call that a Texas waterfall? You know, where it just comes down the back.
I thought that was when they pissed in your eyes.
They do that as well. But yeah, they were good. They were all class, man. They were all class. But there's some wrongins there, you know.
In the wrestling?
Well, right, I'm telling you now, little did you know, Jimmy Fly Snooker, right, they reckon he murdered his missus for a start, and they still let him wrestle. It's out there on the internet, people, don't just believe me. Wow. I'm telling you now. So he looked like a proper madhead as well, didn't he?
Yeah. And then he had the Texas tornado who took his own life.
Bless him, yeah. He was Von Erichs, wasn't he? He was a good lad, son.
Yeah.
Sound.
You had the tragic death of Owen Hart. Didn't he fall from like a thing on? Yeah, he fell from a thing in the ring, didn't he? Like they were lowering him in, and so
that's because they started to do them stunts, didn't they, where they do stuff. Because at the time when that happened, Ted, because I am a proper mark, me, I love it all, Ted, don't I? Them lads, right, they had WCW, and they were dropping, Sting. The laddie was like, he looked like, no, not from the police. They were dropping him from like the rafters and dropping in, and he was like knocking loads of people in. Right. And they went, we're going to do that. And they did it with Owen Hart.
And then Elton John came running down the ring, slid in, fucking elbowed someone.
He'd be a class wrestler. Rocket Man.
Oh, you could call him Elton the Rocket Man John.
There was a wrestler like him called Adrian Street, and he was class. And he sounds
like a poet.
He was class, man. He was hard as him. He was from like Wales or somewhere.
Hello,
Mince.
my name's Adrian Street and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fucking suplex you, I am, innit? Hey, what's one for the valleys? He wasn't Welsh, Adrian Street.
Exotic Adrian
Oh,
Street.
like
He was
Roddy
class.
Piper, Scottish. He'd come out and go, hey, yeah, I'm Roddy Piper, I'm from Scotland.
I've read
It's
everyone.
like when Gerard Butler tries to do his American accent.
Yeah, I did. But in them days, right, there used to be a couple of things happen, right? So in the WWF, when we were all kids, wasn't it? Which they had to change because loads of the wildlife lads were like, listen, you might be hard, but our panda's solid and he'll not get in unless you change your name. So they changed from the WWF to the WWE, didn't they?
Is that
It's
what
the
it
World
was?
Wildlife Federation. Them lads were like, here, sort it out or we're going to send over some naughty penguins.
Yeah, we'll fucking send a tiger into the ring.
Well, aye. So they had to change it.
Do your best impression of a wrestler. Like, pick a wrestler, do an impression of him.
The best impression of a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's see who do I want to be? Because I love so many of them.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna do. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? That was gold dust blowing stuff out.
I'll do mine. Are you ready?
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala, yeah. He was a big African one, wasn't he? Who had the big star of moon drew on his tummy.
I think it was all a bit weird, that, because they're all American and they'd just be like, right, you're a big black lad, you can be an African savage. Like,
Yeah.
the lad's not a savage at all, but they're just like, yeah, you can be an African savage.
It's like what they said to Papa Shango, you can pretend you're dead.
Exactly. And they did that with The Undertaker as well, didn't they?
I remember when you grew a little moustache and you looked like Paul Bearer.
Oh,
my Ted Hanky!
He was mint him as well. But yeah, like basically all them lads were just built up because you remember Hulk Hogan was one of your favourites, wasn't he?
Yeah,
You used
yeah.
to love him. Like the bloke who looked 60 in the 80s and he actually looked younger now. How does that work out?
I liked the fact he had 5 haircuts.
At least.
You know, and I loved him in Rocky as Thunder Lips, the ultimate male.
He had like a bald head, but he still had the long mullet. I like that.
No,
That
did he
was
make
the-
a porno?
He did. I don't think he wanted to. I think someone recorded him
Oh,
bashing
yeah,
the
he
missus.
was skint one night, so he thought, I'll make a few quid. I'll
He
just
could have.
rattle this lass.
Wow, sensational Sherry. Imagine that. Oh, she was class.
I never agreed. I liked the little bits of skirt on the outsides of the wrestling, but I never agreed with when they started introducing them into the fighting until I seen it.
Oh.
And then I was like, do you know what? This women's wrestling's class.
Oh, yeah, there was some mint ones as well, like that Luna Vachon. She was mint. Do you remember?
What?
She was like had like
she
a
a
punk haircut and stuff, and she'd like. Do you remember her?
Is she a bit like slow or something?
No, she was class, man.
Hello.
She was mint.
Quasimodo, you're doing there.
But she was mint. I'd have rattled her, definitely.
Oh.
But in the 80s, Ted, right? Basically, what it was you had that big royalty bloke, Hogan, didn't you? Who was
Yeah.
like proper, massive and muscly, who kicked everybody in with the shittest moves in the world. He just used to kick you and then drop his big leg on you, right? But all he used to do was, right, who's the next fat lad to fight him? So they had like Earthquake coming for him.
Big boss
Big
man.
Boss Man fought him. Your man Kamala fought him.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Typhoon fought him. That's Tugboat.
And then he met his and then he met his,
Andre the Giant.
he was class him, wasn't he?
He was a big fatty though,
He was
wasn't he?
class,
Do you know
man.
what I mean? Imagine how airy his gooch was.
I think he was from like Dormanstown because there's a story where he drank 152 beers in one sitting. I think
Yeah,
it's-
apparently it was all pints of Magnet.
50 pints of 50 bob.
I used to like the arrogant wrestlers, me like Mr. Perfect and Rick the Model Martel.
He was, both of them were class, absolutely class. So yeah, I like him when they're coming through a bit more like that. Like I liked Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
Because he was class and he used to take his glasses off and give them to kids.
He always looked like he'd swam to the ring though.
Well, he's
Too
got
much Shockwave's wet gel.
to be, that was the look. Like he's got to be all greased up, hasn't he?
Yeah, true, yeah.
Makes you harder to grab him in the ring. It's like what Adama Traore does, you know, when he greases himself up before he plays football.
Do you know what? I used to watch the wrestling. I always used to feel sorry for the little bit part wrestlers, you know, and they used to always be like one or two. They're like extras in Coronation Street. You recognise them. Or, you know, like Winston who runs the supermarket stall in EastEnders. You're like, oh, there's Winston. Oh, he's not a big part in it, but you know who he is. They always had one or two of them who were always in the ring, like, and tonight fighting Hulk Hogan is Eric Smith. He's just there in a big pair of underpants like that. Body like he's just fucking finished working down the supermarket. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, he's getting paid a fortune to get his ass kicked.
Do you know,
I could have done that.
There's loads of lads working in supermarkets now. Ripped the fuck gun. I'm going to smash Ted's head in now.
I'd like to see them try. If any supermarket workers want to have a bit of a wrestle, I'm up for it, mate.
Are you any of the balls?
Asda's, Tesco's, Sainsbury's, the posh ones like the M&S's and that. I'll knock yous all.
Don't be messing with Aldi and Lidl there, mean lads.
I know you get scuffles at work in them, so...
Batter you, man.
Yeah. They'll take, I've seen the recruitment policies. They'll take anyone on.
They just fill up on them beans because there's that cheap, that much protein in them. They're just shaking all the time.
Anyway, who's your favourite wrestler then, Marla?
Whatever.
Yeah, because at the end of this conversation, I want us to agree on our top 3 wrestlers ever. I mean, you will probably like modern day ones like CM Punk, whoever the fuck that is.
I do like John Cena though, he's mint.
John Cena's an actor.
No, I love him, and I do like him. He's class. And I used to like Chris Jericho as well, and I liked
The Rock.
I liked The Rock. I used to like Kevin Nash. Do you remember him when he was Diesel? He was like a big rock hard person. He was
Kevin
dead tall.
Nash sells a cigarette down at the Griffin.
I used to like, and Razor Ramon as well. He was mint.
Oh, I used to love Razor Ramon. Uche machismo.
And then the one that I thought, like, even though he was probably solid and massive compared to us, but he looked little compared to everyone else, the 1, 2, 3 kid. Do you remember him? He was like a little looking fella.
Again, sounds a bit noncy. Oh, hello, I'm the 1, 2, 3 kid. 1, 2, 3. Oh.
But if I reckon, right, if I'm being honest, when I was a kid, even though looking back it's probably crap, but I used to love the Ultimate Warrior, me, because he was mint. He just used to run down to the ring and like he couldn't do nouts when he got down there because he was knackered because he used to run all the way in and have a little break.
I once used to scuttle a lasso. Used to have the same hair and makeup as him.
He did. You did.
And if she's watching, she knows who she is.
I used to scuttle one that looked like Earthquake, but I'm not going to say that on here, am I?
Just stop.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know the Ultimate Warrior was a proper wrong'un, you know? Don't have you read about him?
Read them all, Ted. You know it's me.
I mean, he's not quite as wrong as Ric Flair. Ric Flair is like, and he's still kicking around now doing interviews with Ric Flair. He was a proper wrong'un. Did you read about that plane journey where he was getting his cock out and stuff?
No, I did the Flair windmill, so he used to come out with just his robe on and open it up and go woo and just like swing his cock around.
Swing his big blonde bushy cock around.
I mean, I tell you what, no wonder EasyJet barred him. Proper bang out, innit?
He couldn't meet the luggage thresholds. That's what it was. All the drugs. Yeah. That's what it is, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ric Flair. Woo!
But I liked them all. I used to like all the tag team ones as well. Like I liked the Art Foundation there with class. Do you remember it was Brett with his mate with a little
Jimmy the Art.
Yeah, Jimmy the Anvil. And there was the Nasty Boys who you liked who used to like stick people's...
I used to scuttle the lasso. Used to rub my face in her armpits,
like the Nasty Boys.
I quite like that.
Well, I used to like the Midnight Express as well. But
that's a porno.
No. Listen, right. When I went to Blackpool, we used to get them magazines. Well, most other kids would be getting nudie magazines. We'd be getting like NWA, like in the 1986, and that's not the rap music. That's the World Wrestling Alliance one. And they'd have all these class wrestlers in, and they always looked dead mint.
Yeah. What are the tag teams? Legion of Doom.
They were mad.
There was some other ones.
There was the Power and Glory.
I used to like it when they used to just join up randomly, like when Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior joined forces, or Macho Man and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, they were class. They were the best.
Yeah. Elizabeth, will you suck my cock?
I tell you what, though, how much coke went on then when they were both talking?
I tell you, I'd have loved to have been a fly on the wall in the changing rooms. Well, maybe the bits before the changing room, just to see what they get up to. I don't want to see wrestlers todgers.
I reckon Hulk Hogan has a massive wanger though. It must be in proportion to his body.
I reckon Hulk Hogan is all helmet. Be like a really sort of thin, short, like shaft, and then a massive bulbous bell.
A massive roid helmet.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it'll look like you know one of those war helmets from the Battle of Hastings. You know,
he sung me when I'm cold crashing down, I'm gonna smash your mum.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I used to love getting up on a morning and watching the wrestling, like on a weekend, and then you'd be like dead chuffed when it was like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, and all your friends would come over and you'd lie on the floor in the front room and you'd eat snacks and you'd watch the wrestling, and they were great. I loved it.
Right, I'm not being funny. When people talk about wrestling and they say like about, hey, you're a bit dweeby and that, like obviously hang
on. I do agree that if you were over the age of 14 and you watch wrestling and enjoy it, you are a fucking weirdo. And I mean that sincerely. You are probably en route to being a wrong'un.
I don't watch them now, right? But it gives me so many happy memories because my dad loved it, and like all my brothers and that. And like when we used to come, right, I remember going round your house because his dad would like we'd have Sky and he'd always get it, so we could always stay up late and watch it, and it used to be class.
He bought some illegal Sky dish from so yeah.
But we used to go around. Some of the happiest memories would be like where we're all sat there, and then one of our mates would get kicked out because he was a wrong, and then it'd be and you would be sat there, and we'd watch them all come in. It was class. And then like when Elizabeth and Macho came, your dad would be like, "Right, lads, leave the room." Don't know why.
Yeah. He loved Macho Man.
He did.
That's why he was called Macho Stan.
He looked a bit like prime Jake Roberts, but more handsome.
He did, yeah. My dad looked like Jake the Snake Roberts.
But more handsome. He was more handsome. But he did.
Yeah. Mullet, tash, earring, green tights.
My dad looked like Rollerball Rocco, so have a look at him on there and you'll find out.
Yeah. Oh, you still love it. Now then, it's me, Mikey D, back on shore, just in me luxury 5-bedroom manor house in Ingleby, Barwick. True fact about this house, in one of the bedrooms, it is specifically used for booking new lasses in. Yeah, it's not a sex dungeon, it's just got the biggest, most comfiest bed, gives you the best purchase, and the headboard doesn't bang. The only thing bangs in that room is Mikey D. Anyway, new feature of the show, Ted's asked me to do this. Each week I'm going to be doing Mikey D's top 5. And this week is my top 5 places on Teesside to find class lasses. Yeah. In at number 5, well, it's only Linthorpe, mind. You know what I mean? Some of the lasses round there, they've got a bit of wealth. They have a nice house. You can go back to theirs after the night in flares and give them a good seeing to. And then on a morning, they'll make you breakfast. Or if not, you can have a little stroll into the village, go to one of the little coffee shops, you know, have some scran, then pop back for round 2. Linthorpe lasses. Number 4, Hartlepool. Yeah, Hartlepool. You know what I mean? You go on a random night out in Hartlepool with the lads, right? You're getting in the gear, right? You're going in all them rough-ass pubs. You meet some lass, she's probably got a tattooed neck, you know what I mean? Knuckles tattooed, but I like that. You know you're going to get a good shank off them as well, you know, when you get back as well. Sometimes you go back the houses, they've got about 12 dogs. I don't mind that, you know what I mean? Just keep them out the bedroom, get the job done, but you know you're having a good ride. You're having a good time in Hartlepool, because Hartlepool lasses are proper mucky. In at number 3, Stockton lasses. Oh, you know what you're getting with a Stockton lass, yeah? Her lad's probably inside, so she's out, mulching the town. You see him in the clock tower, you make a bit of eye contact. Next up, you're in Goldie's, you're on the dance floor, you're proper behind them, gyrating and that, you know what I mean? They love it, getting down to a bit of fucking Nelly or something like that, right in there. And next thing you know, you're buying them a drink, you're sat in the corner, you're having a little dibble-dabble, back to theirs, bish, bash, bosh. Filthy, filthy night. Love Stockton lasses, me. Very hard not to put them number 1 or 2, but number 3 is a good ranking for the Stockton lass. Number 2, Thornaby. Oh, love a Thornaby lass, me, you know what I mean? Years ago, it used to be so much easier. You'd go in like the Oddies, the Dubliners, you know,
even the Spitty sometimes and that, and then, but there's only really the Griffin now where you can pick up a bit of Thornaby flange. You do get them trickling over into the pubs in Stockton and Ingleby, which I like. But Thornaby lasses are great, you know what I mean? Probably got 4 or 5 kids, but it's easy access, you know what I mean? You slot straight in, and I like that, you know what I mean? You go easy on the foreplay. So, yeah, they love a lad with a fucking bling watch as well. Thornaby lasses, if you flash a little bit of Breitling or a tag hair at a Thornaby lass, and their knickers will be round their ankles faster than you can say Scooby-Doo, I'm telling you. Thornaby. Ain't that number 1? It's only Yarm, isn't it? Yarm lasses, Their lads probably all working offshore and they're out, mooching. They're on the prowl, done up to the 90s. They've got the lips, they've got the hair, they've got the tan, they've got the tattoos. They don't care. They're down in shots like there's no tomorrow in that Macy Jane's cocktail bar or whatever it's called, you know what I mean? You see them in the Bull Beer Garden, you give them the eye. Next thing you know, they're on you. They're latched on like a fighter pilot about to fire that rocket. They're with you all night, watching wherever you go till they make the move. And when they make that move, you're back at a kitchen party and you'll snort and beak off their bum crack without doubt, you know what I mean? You pound them all night. And they know the crack as well. They don't want to know the next day, but you'll see them again a week later in Yarm and you'll be like, you'll give them the nod. Round 2. Yarm. That concludes Mikey D's top 5. The top 5 places on Teesside to pick up lasses. I hope you found that informative and you go out this weekend and you pick up some nice Teesside trim. You know what I mean? If you want Mikey D to do a top 5 for you on the next podcast, either leave a comment below the podcast link on YouTube or wherever you see it, or drop Ted an email at info@tedhanky.com. I can't wait to be covering off more top 5s on the Ted Hanky podcast. You'll know the dance kid.
I bought an Ultimate Warrior, Teddy thing.
Wrestling buddy?
A wrestling buddy,
Well,
right? And I used to practice my wrestling moves on it and stuff like that. But when I got a bit older and it's sort of 16 and I was getting a bit horny and I put it all in it and I booked it.
You did?
And I'm not ashamed to say that. I scuttled my Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddy.
It's yours to do as you please with, Ted.
Well, I know.
And he had long hair and face paint. He did look like one of your exes, so why not?
Sure, it wasn't my ex back then. It probably what put me onto her.
Yeah, well,
To be honest, yeah, good. Those great days. I had all the posters on my bedroom wall, next to me football ones as well.
And then they all turned into Freddie ones as well. So your room was a montage. You had wrestling ones, and then there was football ones.
Yeah.
You'd have Robbie Fowler up for some reason, even though he was 20 when Robbie Fowler played.
And a Boro fan. I loved
Just loved Robbie Fowler.
I had him next to Jan Argaviot, I think it was.
And then he'd go pin across the room. Then you'd have Queen and Freddie.
Yeah.
Class.
Oh.
I didn't have a room back then because I lived in a caravan, but don't worry about that.
Yeah, he did, didn't you, Mala? You poor bugger. That fucking microphone's wobbling. Is that you shaking?
I do shake anyway. I'm in trouble next week for sound issues again.
If you listen to the podcast last week, Mala's phone kept vibrating, but we didn't hear it until I recorded it backwards. So I knocked him tonight.
Ted, I'm knocking out 3 for 100. What do you expect? I need to get myself
All
on.
I ask for you is half an hour of your time, and you're a fucking arsehole. Oh. Right, Mala, I think we need to pick our top 3 wrestlers. I really do.
Right, I'm gonna. Can I go first, Ted? Or should we go third?
I'll do third, second, first. No, but you figure who you want third, and I'll pick who I want third. See if we agree.
Right, in my third spot for the best wrestler of all time that I loved the most, I'm going to put Bret the Hitman Hart because he was the excellence of execution. He wore pink and black, which back in the day could have got him into a lot of trouble, but he made it look hard. And he always used to
I like the way he used to go and give his sunglasses to kids in the audience as well, and then finger the mums. So I'll agree with that. I was thinking Bret the Hitman Hart was going to be in my top 3 because I liked his pink pants and I liked his hair and I liked that Boston Crab move that he used to do when I used to replicate that in all the dweebs at school.
Well, I did.
So yeah, number 3, Bret the Hitman Hart. Who's going to come in at number 2? I think it's tough. It really is tough, this, because there's so many iconic wrestlers. You know, you've got the Hogans, you've got the Warriors, you've got the Macho Mans, you've got the Jake the Snake Roberts.
Rollerball Rockos.
You've got Kevin Smith, who we talked about earlier. I think, for me, the second best wrestler is the Ultimate Warrior.
I love that, but not the best wrestler. He was a character, but I love that. I love that.
He probably sold the most merch.
For our era,
I remember going to Blackpool where you could get your photo taken with a cardboard cut out of him professionally, so it looked like you were with him.
Yeah, you had that photo for ages, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, right, number one then, Mallet. Are we gonna? If you're gonna say fucking Shirley Temple or whatever, I'm not having it.
Well, you're right. For me, I can't really pick a number one. Well, I'll have to do a WWF one from the era because that's when we were kids.
Yeah.
And I'm a nonce still now because I still like it, so I can't say who I actually want. But I will say that probably the most iconic and best one would have been the Hogan, wouldn't he?
You're thinking the Hogan? See, I always like. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he was class as well.
I loved the Macho Man because he looked like he was 90, but really he was 23.
But, right, I'm just going to do it on the numbers here, right? Hogan was class, right? He used to play in a band and play bass guitar. He was in Mr. Nanny, which is known to be one of the best movies of all time.
And Suburban Commando. And Rocky 3.
And, he's been in loads of them, right? So he is probably there. And he's also starred in a porno.
Number one, Hulk Hogan. Has to be. Brother, oh yeah, my 95-inch pythons, brother, coming at you big. Ooh. Did he do that?
Yeah, that was good.
Did he ever do that?
Well,
was that Brendan from Hollyoaks?
He did.
Where's Stephen? I'm going to fall in here.
That wasn't Brendan from Hollyoaks. You were doing your man from Coronation Street.
No, Brendan from Hollyoaks used to have a little tash that used to go, "You're right, Stephen. Okay, come in my bedroom with me now, will you? And I'll fucking sort you right out."
Oh, I thought you were talking about our Jim.
Oh, Jim McDonald's more like, Elizabeth, will you marry me? Jim McDonald, the wrestler. That's who played Macho Man Randy Savage. There you go, you heard it here first, matters. Right, Mallet, we've got time just for a couple of Ask Teds. 2 have dropped into the message box.
Really,
right?
Ted, I want to read them.
All right, and I think I'll read them out and we'll answer them together, shall we? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Right, so the first one, this is by just somebody called an alien from Norton. They don't want to give the real name. All right, Ted and Malla. My next door neighbour is a bit of a scruffy twat like, and she hasn't looked after her eaves in her roof for years, and pigeons are roosting there. They're encroaching onto my roof and shitting all over my windows and my 2007 Ford Focus. I haven't got an air rifle like you, Ted. What do I do to get rid of these shite orcs? What do you think? What do you think, Malla? I mean, for starters, get rid of your 2007 Ford Focus, you Doyle.
Yeah, I'm in the market for the car, so if you are selling it, let me know.
Malla loves a Ford Focus because his favourite one in Gladiators was John Fashion, who used to always go, Focus. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough one, that. Like, I mean, if she might be scruffy, but like, if you scrubbed her up, could you like go around and, you know, tap into her and then say, yeah, after you finish her, you need to sort your fucking eaves out?
This is the thing, though. When he was talking about she's let her eaves go, I thought her tits had dropped a bit, and she's got pigeons nestling in them. So, like, I'm imagining some scruffy mess, but she might not be. She
some
might
type
be.
of Avery-filled bra.
Listen, what's the lad's name here?
It's just an alien from Norton.
Well, most of yous are, so listen to me, right? We're Thornaby, we are Boro, we are proud, and we are Teesside, we are proud. Right, she might have let herself go because she was in love with somebody that's left her, right? And the house has gone a bit to rack and ruin. This is your chance to get over there and get some sneaky loving in. Come on, how we think about it. If this was in Thornaby, the lads would have already sorted that out.
Yeah. Or go to a toy store and buy a very powerful Nerf gun. And not for her, but like for the pigeons. Yeah, don't be my advice. Shall we read the next one? All right, the next one. The next one is from somebody called Aunt Dibs with the title subject "Advice Needed." So this is, now then, Ted, you're not involved in this one. I've got this thing where I write dirty messages on bits of paper and scrumple them up and put them in a teapot. Then I lay back on the bed and put the spout up my arsehole. I used to get our lass to pick some messages out and read them quietly to herself while she wanked us off. She's finished me now, but reading them to myself isn't as good because I know what they say beforehand. Any advice you can offer me is appreciated,
Well, this is the old Mystic Rim spout, innit? This is, it's an old game, this.
Firstly, how wide is the girth of the teapot spout? I'm just curious.
Well, you can get them in all sorts,
Can you?
Yeah. Me mum has loads, which I'm quite worried about me dad now.
Can you use a Toby jug?
Possibly.
Yeah. Anyway, I think what you need to do, mate, is my advice. I mean, albeit it's great writing down rude things on pieces of paper and scrumpling them up and involving them in kinky activity, but put the teapot up your ass is fucking wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's just not right. What if, I don't know, what if there's still some tea in it?
But you can have that, Ted, can't you?
Put tea up your bum?
No. Listen, you can. You can have coffee, put up your bum.
Oh, yeah?
You can. So maybe it's just a version of that. You never thought of that, did you? Because you can get caught, and apparently it's good for you.
I mean, I'd be conscious of what tea bags you use as well. I mean, if you're just wanting a slight penetration, just go for the PG tip.
Something.
I did there. You know what I mean?
I can't beat that, Ted, you bun.
Yeah. Because you don't. Last thing you want's a big fucking Tetley tea bag double triangle donger up your ass. You know what I mean? But I don't know, mate. Maybe why don't you find yourself a girlfriend who's into pegging?
Yeah, well,
It's a good idea, that, isn't it?
Yeah, she could put the dirty thoughts on the pegs and shove them up your ass.
No, man, do you know what pegging is?
No.
You do, because it's happened to you. Yeah.
How do you mean?
Because Broadback, when she used to put that strap on and bum you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, is that what that is?
That's what pegging is, yeah.
Oh, well,
Get yourself into pegging, right? It'll save you money on teapots as well, and probably on dishwasher tablets for washing your spout.
And it opens up your bumhole, so when you have a poo, it slides out easy. There's no pushing at all, Ted. It's class.
Is that what happens?
Well,
That concludes Ask Ted. Right, Mella, that's the end of the show.
I've got to get off. This has just put me in thought of something. I've seen some Kenko for sale down the shop. Do you know what I mean? I might have a good clean wash out. Right, next time you see me, I'm going to look mint.
Kenko. Mala is... I'll see you later, Mala.
See you later, Ted. Yeah. See you later, Maris.
He's a big fan of the coffee clean-out system of the anal glands as well, whereas I prefer to just hang around with mellow birds, if you get my drift, you know what I mean? Thanks very much for tuning in to this week's show. Please give it a share, a like, pass it on to your mates, invite them to watch it. Do come to the Warehouse Kitchen Bar and Grill here down on Preston Farm Industrial Estate, Stockton. It's near Macro and Soccer Sensations. It's proper class food, couple of class comedy nights coming up. They're building a fucking Star Wars bar upstairs, which is going to be mint. So any of you ugly Doyles will probably get in, you know what I mean? But apart from that, have a proper class week, and as per usual, up the butter and believe.